Thank you for joining Sports Development Series. We yours truly, Boma Ekiora.
Our Sportdev series is sponsored by Arewa Baobab Fruit Powder, one of the most nutritious substances on the planet. Get your Baobab Fruit Powder from arewabaobab.com.
Sportdev series, welcome guys. So I know we've been going over our AFCON coverage and just talking about the different things from my favorite tournament, favorite football tournament, soccer tournament. But I wanted to take a little detour. There was a recent case of racism in Europe again. Not to anyone's surprise, involving a player from AC Milan at Udinese, and then, of course, in Sheffield in England. And in just kind of analyzing this a little bit more, I think the one thing that comes at you is FIFA has actually put in some effort to try to resolve this by one, banning fans from stadiums that have had this, taking away points, fining certain teams to the rate of $45,000 in one case. And it doesn't seem to stop these teams or stop the occurrence of racism, players being targeted. And so specifically, let's talk about racism. What they do is they target specific players from a team, even their team in some cases. And you hear monkey chants, bananas are thrown. They seem to take some kind of delight in calling the black players monkeys, which is a racist trope that's been used for a very long time, going back to the era of segregation and stuff in the United States. So when you look at it, and FIFA has tried to have the campaign say no to racism. You have organizations such as Kick It Out, which is a charity that works towards kicking out racism out of football. Kudos to them. They've done a lot of work, but it doesn't seem to stop these occurrences, right? You hear players tweeting, "Enough is enough." Here's the problem. Racism that we see in stadiums is a microcosm of the larger society in that country. If you have a country of, let's just say, 2 million, right? And I would say 20% of them are fascist or racist, then you're going to see that in games, at stadiums. So this is the society. It's a societal issue. And the teams, in this case, Udinese or whomever, cannot fix a larger societal issue, if that makes sense. This is an issue from the government, right? In most of these countries, you have to realize there's been no civil rights. This isn't like United States where there was actually a civil rights movement and people fought and died and were able to get some level of normalcy where people are treated as human beings. That hasn't happened here. You understand? So in this case, this has to be solved from the government standpoint, and not just legislature, education, training on a mass scale. Because believe it or not, places like Italy, until the government of Italy recognizes that it has a huge racist problem in its society, we're going to continue to see this. And it doesn't just have to be Italy. I'll give a reason why I'm using Italy for a second, but it could be Spain, it could be France, it could be Germany. It's happened in all these countries, by the way. So this is not exclusive to Italy. But until they recognize it at that point, which hasn't seemed to happen, right? A lot of these governments have not come to this awakening that they have a racist issue in their culture. And that's what it is. FIFA can ban, fine all it wants. It's still going to happen. What FIFA needs to do is contact the government of these nations and try to get them to understand that there is a fundamental issue in the 21st century in these countries that have a huge, shameful legacy of colonialism, of slavery, and the list goes on. If their citizens are exhibiting this kind of behavior and they don't address it, it's only going to continue. Now, check out this video right here, just to put an illustration of this fascist salute from the far right in Italy. Just take a look at this. So you see, that just goes to show the kind of issue that we're facing in these societies. All right, that's all we have, Sportdev. I'm gonna leave right now, and you could take a look at a minuscule, a handful of names of players we know that have experienced racism, either from their team or from the opposing team. All right, we out, Sports. Thanks for joining us.